because he's a brilliant basketball player.
Well, clearly he wasn't wanted that much by Miami because they didn't want to pay him.
No, and I'm okay with that.
Okay, so you can't be mad at the version of the player that you get when you don't want to pay the player what they feel like they're worth.
Totally. I understand that. But I also understand that the reason that they didn't pay him was because he wasn't this version that we're seeing right now.
Well, you didn't get this version of him because you didn't pay him. It's the chicken or the egg argument. Jimmy Butler, what he had done for the Miami Heat in the past warranted them continuing their commitment to him, and they didn't want to do that. They wanted to take it year by year. And I get it. That's what a lot of good organizations do. They try to be judicious when it comes to allocating resources to aging stars. Is what we saw with the LA Rams with Matt Stafford this offseason. Mm-hmm. We're trying to figure out what the hell are the Rams doing.
It's what his current team did to Klay Thompson, who did way more for the Warriors than Jimmy did for the Heat.
Sure, I get that. That's exactly what happens, but you can't be mad when the player brings up the octopotamus because he wants to make sure that he gets paid. He wants to make sure that he capitalizes on being able to monetize his ability as much as he can in the twilight of his career. So I get why Jimmy Butler acted the way that he did this past season. I understand it. I don't begrudge him, and I don't blame the Miami Heat for how they handle it. I just hate that lines have been drawn and people feel a way toward one side or the other based on their loyalties. And I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair to Miami, like you said, but I also don't think it's fair to Jimmy.
Which is why I'm happy there's a video tribute, because at least for a moment there's celebration, right? I always say in these moments, cheer the person, boo the player. So in the 48 minutes, boo him when he has the ball. If they do it before the game hasn't started, he's Jimmy Butler. Cheer the person. The person brought you two finals appearances, 3 Eastern Conference finals, right? And I can cheer him, but when he's wearing number 10 for the Warriors in a basketball game, I'm going to cheer for Andrew Wiggins, who's guarding him. That's the guy on my team. The only thing I would say is you could say you understand where he's coming from, but you in 11 years as a player, I don't buy for 1 second you'd act the way that he acted. You do not, to your credit, I don't think you have that in you. I know you well enough to know, you would not.
Oh, no, I got that in me. I just have awareness, and I realize I was never the caliber of player Jimmy Butler was.
Right,
but if I was a star, yeah, I'm going.
I don't know about that.
What you don't know?
Name one teammate that actually still.
They didn't want to give you your money. You'd take that person.
What you need to know about me is I am a capitalist in every way.
Yeah.
I am all about my bread. Always.
Right, but his teammates, he's not cool with his teammates. That's the problem. He was separate from his teammates. Was Eli Manning ever separate from you guys?
So you're saying he was separate from his teammates when he was going on those runs to the NBA Finals?
Yes.
I mean, there's some guys that are like that, but I mean, ultimately, how you feel about him is to the degree of how much he helps you win. Mm-hmm. And when Jimmy Butler was carrying the Miami Heat, even though he didn't hang out with his teammates, I'm pretty sure they had a lot of love for him, especially when he broke out playoff Jimmy.
They don't need to go out to dinner. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying there was always that separate. That's who he is. He is somebody that seemingly needs conflict for unbelievable success. There's a lot of people.
I don't care what you need as long as you show up when it's time to play. I don't care what you need. And he does. And he has shown up with the Golden State Warriors.
Whatever.
They have the Golden State Warriors right now have bigger fish to fry than worrying about Jimmy in Miami tonight. They better avoid the play-in because what Jimmy did for Miami every year was start in the play-in, and I think Pat Riley was sick of that. He's going to be even sicker of that.
Boy, that's going to be real interesting with Golden State, the Clippers, and Minnesota.
That's what I'm saying.
Be real interesting.
Instead of worrying about Jimmy's return to Miami, worry about that.
All 3 of those teams,
interesting,
and only one spot in the playoffs, one spot avoiding the play-in. Whew.
Golden State right now is 41-30. The Clippers are 40-31. Kawhi has played very well recently. They're 8-2 in their last 10. Minnesota's 41-32. Okay, so they're all.
And that's the team that don't nobody want to play.
Right, so they're all
nobody want to play Minnesota.
No.
Really?
Yeah, nobody want to play Minnesota. Yeah,
I would want to play them over the other two. If you gave me a draft pick,
you want to play Minnesota over the Clippers?
Yep, no doubt. No doubt.
Okay.
I think the Clippers have the second best coach in the conference, behind Steve Kerr.
Okay.
And Ty Lue.
All right.
There's an argument to be made, and I love Steph. Love Steph. There's an argument to be made of those 3 teams. The best player when they're at their best is Kawhi Leonard.
Ooh.
Yeah, but you're talking about a guy that over the last 5 years hasn't been at his best.
No doubt. But what if he is?
We keep saying that every year.
But
He
right
wasn't
now,
even
no,
play
but
last postseason.
But CeCe, right now, as you know, he's playing and playing well. I'm just saying.
Congratulations to Kawhi.
Is there a wild card in the NBA this year that we're not factoring in, and could it be a guy that has won multiple championships for two different teams? Is there a chance that through all of this, Jimmy Butler on Golden State has been not good, he has been great. His teammates so far love him. Anthony Edwards is the face of the franchise guy or face of the league guy along with Victor Wembanyama, right? And they make the trade with the Knicks in the offseason. The Houston Rockets are this team of young stars that are kind of emulating the great Oklahoma City Thunder. Denver's got a multi-time MVP who's been out the last 5 games. They're 2-3 in those games. LeBron and Luka are obviously going to be first ballot Hall of Famers. Memphis is going to beat the crap out of you if you play them. All of that said, is Kawhi actually the wild card in all of this?
Let me tell you something. If Kawhi Leonard pulls that off, if he does that, 3 championships, 3 different organizations, and the way that it happened, like microwaving a chip in Toronto, and then going out to LA and being off injured, and then in a year where it doesn't seem like they're anywhere close to competing for a title, in a year where they let Paul George walk in free agency, if they end up winning a chip, I think there's an argument to be made that Kawhi Leonard has the 3rd best career in the LeBron era of the NBA.
LeBron, Steph, Kawhi.
Yeah.
This is what's so interesting about the LeBron era.
That's fascinating.
Because then he would match LeBron.
I've never actually thought about that.
I've been thinking about that, obviously.
It just feels so far-fetched. But what his career would look like when it's all said and done. Like it's almost as if we would forget about the load management and all of the stuff that happened.
No, it's the opposite.
At the beginning of the Clippers.
We say
We're saying it actually worked.
We would have to say he's right.
It actually worked. He preserved himself for the opportune time to win a championship.
Yes. Here's the wild thing about the LeBron era in the NBA, okay? Not in terms of individual status all time. LeBron is at worst the 2nd greatest player of all time, okay? If Steph Curry wins another championship, we can make the argument that you'd rather have Steph's career than
because
LeBron's career.
He's been in one place.
5 championships in one place. That's
Okay?
That's insane.
Like you'd rather have that career. Not you'd rather be the player, but you'd rather have the career. Kawhi, if he wins another one, LeBron arguably, like I don't know what number 1 on LeBron's resume is, right? The 20+ years, the longevity, his son in the league, whatever it is.
The points, yeah.
Okay, the points.
Yeah.
The championship in Cleveland.
Right, but the thing is,
that's another one. Yeah.
I mean,
but he has 3 championships with 3 different teams. Kawhi would equal that.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about.
It's like all of Michael's stuff. Not to get Michael LeBron. The reason that people like us that grew up in the Michael era just gawk at his entire career is all of his top line resume stuff. Nobody's close to.
Yeah, but it's not just people that grew up in the Jordan era. It's the predecessors for Michael Jordan that also called him the best too.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you what's going to happen.
To me, that's the difference in LeBron in real time versus MJ. There were people that played the game and are known as all-time greats that pointed to Michael Jordan and said, that dude is the greatest of all time.
That's right. That's right.
So guys that were senior to Jordan said, that dude is the best we've ever seen.
Magic.
Yeah.
Magic gawks at him the way we do. There's no difference between the way
we ever see.
Magic Johnson is arguably the greatest point guard ever to live. The way he looks at Michael is the way we look at Michael.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, look at this guy.
It's insane. Like, I remember when they announced the top 75 team, the 75th anniversary team, and they had all of the players on that circular podium, and then there was that one spot in the middle, and they announced MJ last, and everybody was like, yes, this is...
We have no issues with this.
He belongs here, yes. It's him.
I could do this all day.
Him.
I could literally gawk at MJ all day.
But I'm just saying, the Kawhi Leonard thing is fascinating, though, because